President Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa recently addressed world leaders at the new Global Financing Pact summit in Paris, France. During his closing remarks, Ramaphosa expressed the unhappiness of African countries with the West and emphasized the need for concrete solutions to create a fairer, more effective, and more responsive global financial system.
Africa should never be seen as a continent that needs generosity. We want to be treated as equals.
He specifically focused on the negative experiences African nations faced, particularly regarding access to COVID-19 vaccines. In his speech, Ramaphosa highlighted the disparity in vaccine distribution and the resistance faced when African countries sought to manufacture their own vaccines. This essay will explore President Ramaphosa's remarks and their implications for global financial reform and equitable vaccine distribution. President Ramaphosa acknowledged the efforts made by some countries, including Germany and the United States, in proposing initiatives to address global challenges. However, he also expressed the feeling of African countries being treated as beggars, particularly in relation to vaccine availability. Ramaphosa stressed that during the COVID-19 pandemic, African nations felt neglected as Northern Hemisphere countries bought up a significant portion of the world's vaccines and hesitated to release them when they were most needed in Africa. The unequal distribution of vaccines generated resentment and deepened disappointment among African nations. President Ramaphosa raised concerns about the prioritization of profits by big pharmaceutical companies over human life. He questioned the stance of those opposing efforts by African countries to manufacture their own vaccines and the resistance they faced at the World Trade Organization. Ramaphosa emphasized the importance of prioritizing life over profits and the need to address this issue collectively. Ramaphosa's remarks reflected the perception that life in the Northern Hemisphere was considered more valuable than life in the Global South. He called for a reevaluation of the global financial architecture and urged world leaders to address these issues at their core. The president emphasized the necessity of creating a fairer and more responsive global financial system that promotes international solidarity and climate action. He highlighted the significance of addressing the challenges faced by African countries and other nations in the Global South to ensure a more equitable distribution of resources and opportunities. President Cyril Ramaphosa's closing remarks at the new Global Financing Pact summit shed light on the dissatisfaction of African countries with the West, particularly regarding access to COVID-19 vaccines. His speech called for concrete solutions to create a fairer, more effective, and more responsive global financial system. Ramaphosa's emphasis on the unequal distribution of vaccines and the resistance faced when African countries sought to manufacture their own vaccines underscored the need for equitable vaccine distribution and prioritization of human life over profits. His remarks serve as a reminder of the importance of addressing global disparities and working together to build a more just and inclusive world.